Hi everybody, it's Wendy from the Lexington Senior Center, and I'm here today to do a short workout with you just for your arms. So this will be only about 10 to 15 minutes long. You don't need any hand weights. I'm actually going to use canned goods today. And we'll be doing quite a few repetitions. So if you need to take a break somewhere in there, feel free, especially if you're at home and you are using some hand weights that are relatively heavy. You might want to take a break, especially to give those shoulders some relief. We are here at the center every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. If we can do anything to help you out, please give us a call. Make sure you check out the newsletter online if you don't receive one through email or through the mail. You can check that out just on our website. We are trying to post videos regularly on Facebook and YouTube. If you have a particular type of workout that you want, maybe give us a call or shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to accommodate you as best I can. I did want to talk about a couple of things today as far as stuff that you can just use around the house to add extra resistance to your workout. So I brought a few things with me today. So you can use things like your laundry detergent as a weight. These are really good to use as a kettlebell as well if you're used to doing some workouts with a kettlebell. So laundry detergent, or even a gallon of milk, a half a gallon of milk, that can add some extra weight to your resistance workout. Canned goods, which I'll be using today. I'm just going to use a couple cans of cut green beans. You can also, there's some smaller jars of peanut butter that you can use. You just want to make sure that you still can maintain a fairly good grip on it. You could use things like bags of rice, water bottles, that type of thing. You can also put your canned goods in your bag and use those bags as added resistance to do most of our exercises. You can use it to add resistance to squats. If you have a backpack sitting around at home, you can load that up with a few canned goods, strap it on, and add some extra resistance to your lower body workout. So there are ways to continue to add strength training into your workout at home, even if you don't have traditional bands or hand weights. We still have some of those Dynabands available, so if you want to use one of the stretchy bands, I'd be happy to mail one to you, or you could stop by the center and pick one up. Just need to call so we can schedule an appointment for that. There isn't any charge for the bands, so just give us a call if you want one, 278-6072. You might want to do this arm workout after you walk a little bit and get the blood pumping. I'm not going to do any type of a warm-up for you, maybe just a few shoulder rolls and wrist circles. So if you want to make sure that your body temperature and your muscle temperature, your core muscle temperature is up, you might want to do a little bit of exercise prior to this, some walking. But I'm going to grab my canned goods, do a few shoulder rolls. I'll do a couple little wrist circles, maybe wiggle my fingers a little bit. I have a trigger finger on one hand, where my one finger sort of gets stuck in a curved position. So sometimes I have to stop my workout and release that. You might have that same issue, but the best thing we can do for that is just to continue to move the joint. So we want to find a comfortable position, feet about shoulder width apart, so you can work in a neutral or horse stance, or you can also work in what's called a split stance with one foot behind. You want a little bit more weight in the front leg than you have in the back leg for that. But I'm going to just start in a neutral stance. Want to pull the tummy in, put those shoulders back a little bit. If you do have a full-length mirror at home, maybe you want to have that your computer or your phone sitting up by that mirror so that you can check out your own form while you're performing your exercises. I'm going to have a nice grip on my canned goods. Chest is back, and I'm just going to start with some easy bicep curls. So we want to focus on muscle contraction since my weights aren't real heavy. And I don't want to start swinging those arms. I want to act like the cans weigh 10 pounds apiece and really focus on that bicep muscle, getting a good contraction. And we're not really trying to go with the beat of the music or anything like that. That really is just there to help motivate us to keep going. Like I said, you can stop at any time and give yourself a little stretch. I'm really not going to take a break. This is going to be a short arm workout, but you might get fatigued in those shoulders. So I'm going to go from my bicep curl into my alternating frontal raise. So I'm going to work that one arm at a time, focusing on a nice straight wrist, pulling that tummy in, lifting no higher than shoulder height right now. We will do some overhead presses in just a little bit. But starting out right now, thinking about pressing those shoulders down and lifting no higher than the shoulder. And we want to hold those canned goods firmly, but not squeeze too tight. Then we're going to flip the palms towards the body, and I'm going to go to an upright row. I'm going to go to about mid-chest. We're leaning with the elbows as we pull up. And then as I press down, I'm thinking about pushing the floor away. So I want to try to activate the triceps, just a little extra squeeze as I straighten those arms at the bottom. So about to mid-chest. So thinking about the pull up and the push down. So sometimes in class we'll talk about it working the same motion as if you are zipping and unzipping a jacket. So that's very similar. You're going to zip your jacket up to about the middle of the chest. Maybe a couple more. And then I'm going to go back to the frontal raise. So I'm going to alternate those arms again, but I'm going to add a little bit of a rotation in there, like I am pouring the water bottle out on the floor. So your breath should just be nice and steady. The tummy should be pulled in. That shouldn't affect your breathing. I don't know about you, but I've learned how to walk around all day pulling my tummy in because my pants are too tight. Yeah. Yep. That happens in a pandemic. We get a little bit more sedentary, and then what happens when we stop growing up? We start growing out. And then we get stressed out, and what happens? Our body starts yelling for sugar. It doesn't yell for carrots unless they're chocolate covered. We just try to do the best we can where we are. Maybe one more. Then we're going to pull those canned weights up to the shoulders. I'm going to do a few overhead presses. So I'm going to keep more of a narrow position with my arms. So if you notice, they're coming down right at the shoulders. The elbows are dropping down. My palms are facing one another. I'm going to take a quick check and see how the feet are doing. If they're pushed into the floor, the knees are soft, the tummy's pulled in. And those canned goods are coming forward of my face a little bit. We'll stomp on the bottom, and I'm actually going to open the arms out a little bit, and then I'm going to adjust and come into that football goal post position, or if you take yoga, sometimes we call this cactus. So we're pretty much at that 90-degree bend there at the elbow if we can. Elbows are about at shoulder height. I'm just going to open and close. And you might find that you can't get the elbows that's as high, that's fine. You might be down here. Just do the best you can. Sometimes as we age and get more miles on our body, those shoulders don't cooperate as much. So when I close those arms, I'm thinking about squeezing the chest muscles together. When I open the arms, I'm thinking about pulling those shoulder blades a little bit closer together. Maybe two more, and we'll give those shoulders a little bit of a break. So I'm going to come in, I'm I'm going to work down. I'm going to open and close here. So working more through the rotator cuff. We'll take some work out of the shoulders since we don't have those arms up overhead. And remember, you can stop and stretch at any time. Or maybe you need to stop and wiggle those fingers a little bit. Almost working as if I have a rubber band in each hand and I'm stretching it apart, nice and wide. Couple more. I'm going to stop in the center. I'm going to have that 90-degree bend. I'm going to lift and lower. So almost as if I'm pouring that water out of that water bottle. Going to about shoulder height with the elbows. You don't have to go that high. But if you notice, those wrists are pretty much in a straight line with the elbow. Breathing nice and steady. Wrists are straight. We're going to take those arms and work straight down the thigh. It's almost if I'm shaving the leg. I'm going to tip, and I'm going to stay in that position. My knees are soft. I'm going to work some rows. So you might want to turn to the side so that head's in a nice straight line with the neck rather than trying to look forward and lifting the head. But I'm going to shave those legs. And remember, I'm trying to contract those muscles like those cans weigh 50 pounds apiece. The back is long and straight. The knees are soft, but it's not a big squat. Squeezing those shoulder blades. I'm going to pull back and hold this time, and then I'm going to pull those elbows in and take those palms towards the body and work my triceps. You can either kick back both arms or you can alternate, work one and then the other. Tummy is in. If you need a little extra support, you can work one arm at a time, and I can keep the other hand on the thigh to provide a little bit of extra support. You would just want to make sure you get both arms in there, but you already know that. Really, when it comes down to it, you don't even really need me. You don't. Couple more. And then we're going to extend both arms back. We're going to hold, we're going to press a little bit. So I'm going to extend, palms up, little presses. Just small, working straight up. And then I'm going to stand up tall, work some shoulder shrugs. So the weights are going to come down. I'm going to come up and work some shoulder shrugs. Lift and lower. So in that horse stance or that split stance. Now if you notice, I'm not bending those elbows. They're soft. But I'm not doing any kind of a row. I'm really trying to focus on what those shoulders are doing, what those back muscles are doing. Couple more. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to flip it up. I'm going to take it up overhead again. This time I'm going to flip my palms towards the front of the room. And then I'm going to open a little bit, work my overhead press, but think about my back a little bit more. So I'm going to pull it open and drive those elbows down towards my rib cage, but I am still forward of the face with the hand goods. We're almost done. Remember, you can take a break whenever you want to. And if you're working with heavier weights than I have with these hand goods, of course you need to take a break. Don't overdo it. Discomfort is okay, but you don't want to be in pain. I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to rotate down and up. So remember, you got those heavier weights. Maybe you need to take a little break. Couple couple more. Then I'm going to bring those weights down to my sides. I'm going to work a couple side bends. And then I'm going to add the row on the opposite side. So I'm sliding up one side as I reach down with the other. Head just follows the neck, which follows the spine. And you get that exhale on the way down. Take a quick check, see what your tummy's doing. It's almost over. We'll stop center. I'm going to flip it forward. Now, if you have those light weights, you're going to do a few wrist curls. So it's just the wrist. Right now, my palm is up. We maybe want to do 6 or 8. If you have those heavy weights, you might want to put your weights down and do the wrist curls with no weight. Now I'm going to flip my palm towards the body, work my wrist curl here. We won't do many. Just a couple more. Good, relaxing it down. We're going to squat down and put those canned goods down and maybe circle the wrists. Both directions. So there's lots more exercises you could do with that upper body and targeting those arms, those shoulders. Give yourself a hug. We're just trying to give you a few quick workouts. People are more likely to do that if the workouts are short. And then you can pair up those workouts together if you want to. Maybe do our low impact workout and then the set of arms and our set of legs. Or maybe the basic step workout, which will really target the lower body. And then work your arm segments. Or maybe take a day and work on your balance. Open up the chest a little bit. Stretch that back a little bit. Wiggle those fingers. And remember, wear your mask, all right? We need everybody to wear their mask so that we can get back to the senior center as soon as possible, because I'll tell you what, it just isn't the same around here without you.